To the new scandal swirling around California Governor Gavin Newsom. Newsom attended a swanky wine tasting event at his luxury winery in Napa Valley on Saturday, June 7th. That was a day after rioters had already begun destroying downtown LA just the day before. This is Newsom's new RIOTS for Thee, but not for me. The promotional brochure for this wine tasting event called it, quote, Vineyard Vibes, and featured, quote, contemporary yet sophisticated wines, live jazz music, and locally made pizza and smash burgers, saying it was a, quote, perfect kickoff to summer fun. Joining us now, former presidential candidate Larry Elder. Larry, what's your reaction to this? Should swanky fundraisers be Newsom's priorities while rioters were lighting cars on fire, assaulting cops, assaulting federal buildings, throwing Molotov cocktails and bricks? Was that the, quote, summer of fun for terrorized residents of downtown LA?
You know, Liz, it isn't just that this is bad optics, not unlike when Gavin Newsom issued all these edicts on shutting down the state because of COVID. He's at Napa Valley incurring a $12,000 wine tab with the very bureaucrats that talked about the mandates. He wasn't wearing a mask. He wasn't socially distancing. It isn't just that. It's that obviously this man considers public safety and crime low priorities. He lives in a very safe neighborhood, doesn't have to worry about this. People in LA are very concerned about crime, and small business people downtown, the majority of them say that they would move elsewhere if they only could. It just shows you where his priorities are. He'd rather do a podcast, have interviews, and run around talking about what Donald Trump is doing wrong, rather than do something about his state where he's losing population, the average price of a home twice that of the national average, homeless problem, a big gap between the rich and the poor. What's he doing about the things people in California care about?
You know, Governor Newsom did release a statement downplaying this, saying the wine tasting event was a fundraiser for cancer research, not a wine party. When the brochure for this wine tasting event at Newsom's luxury winery in Napa said, quote, we'll gather for music, food, and delicious wine. Well, Larry, that sure sounds like a wine party. Plus, Newsom claimed that the riots were not, quote, widespread when he was at that wine tasting event. But he's admitting there were riots and claiming they were not widespread. They were already growing by the hour. That day, Saturday, they launched the day before on Friday, June 6th.
I'm surprised, Liz, he didn't say, well, the riots were fine. They were self-contained. There was no real violence, as Maxine Waters says, until Donald Trump Bigfooted me and federalized the National Guard. I'm surprised he didn't say that.
All right. So when you heard about this Napa wine tasting event, when you hear Gavin Newsom's response, you just pointed out, he ordered everybody to stay inside during the pandemic lockdowns while he went to a dinner party at an upscale restaurant during the height of the pandemic. He discouraged families from getting together for Thanksgiving during the pandemic. There's also his disastrous handling of the California wildfires. And now you got President Trump going after Gavin Newsom today because Trump just won in court that, yes, that San Francisco Ninth Circuit said Trump can keep National Guard troops in L.A. to battle protests. What do you make of it when you put it all together?
Well, it's going to hurt Gavin Newsom's prospects for becoming the Democratic Party nominee, and if he does, for winning, because the reason for the recall, the reason the recall happened was because of his arrogance in imposing all these mandates for COVID and then completely ignoring them himself. And these are his priorities. As I said earlier, he's doing a podcast while people in California, many of them say if they could leave, they would go elsewhere. High cost of living, highest taxes ever, highest state taxes of any state in the union. Highest gas prices, even those of Hawaii are not as high as they are here in California, highest unemployment rate of any of the 50 states. And what's he doing? Going to a fundraiser while LA burns? Not a good look.
All right. Thank you, Larry Elder.